Right, so hello everyone, and welcome to another stream. We're going to be playing some more VGC. Let me start again. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. We're going to be playing some more Battle Stadium on Pokemon Sword and Shield using the VGC Series 10 rule set for 2021. We're going to be playing a Calyrex Shadow Rider team, and yeah, we're just going to be starting off at Master Rank. So yeah, before we get into the video, since Tuesday's stream, I think I got up to Ultra Ball rank, and didn't get any further than that. I played a bit off stream, and yeah, it didn't take too many battles, but we actually got up to Master Rank. So we've made it for the there we go. There's my thumbs up. Just hiding in from the camera, but yeah, we've made Master Rank. So now we don't have to worry about hitting that goal for the rest of the month. We can just chill out, experiment with some teams. Still going to be using the Calyrex Shadow Rider team. What I may try, if I get time for it, is just see if we can do well in the ladder. Of course, me to do that, I need to actually get a team that's good, a team with if it has any holes to be patched up, and just need to just keep practicing. So here we go. So yeah, that's what we'll do. More Battle Stadium, and then whoever's joining in the chat, just feel free to have any discussions. I mean, what's the newest sort of news at the moment? We've got they've announced that live events are going to be happening again for the Pokemon tournaments, including Pokemon Go as well as the main ones, VGC, trading card game, and Pokken tournament. Unfortunately, no Pokemon Unite just yet, but maybe they'll look at that as well. But we've got Pokemon Go, which seems to be a strange choice, but it's been a while since I played a game. Maybe there is like the well, I mean, obviously there is the space to have a competitive scene in there, because why would they add it? Maybe I should give it a look. Anyway, as well as that, Metroid Dread. So I've got my pre-order in for it. Hopefully I get it tomorrow, but we shall see. Depending on how. I may play it on stream, but we'll just keep it to Pokemon for now. Alright then, so yeah, I stream from this channel every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 o'clock UK time in the evening, that is. If you do want to get notified, well, if you want to see when I'm on, we'll cut that bit out. If you want to get notified as soon as we're online, then please follow the channel, and then also please find a link below to YouTube. So my streams go on here, and then I highlight and edit them and put them onto YouTube. So please, if you like the content here, then please go to that channel, check out some more of my stuff. If you are watching from a video that's on my YouTube channel right now, then please like that video, and then also feel free to subscribe to the channel. There's some plugs out of the way. Let's get into some matches. Right, so I am hopefully not going to dilly-dally too much. So there we go. Master Ball, rank 2898. Because we've hit it quite early this month, maybe it might make the ladder a bit easier, but only time will tell. What I found was when I was Master Rank towards the end of last month, I found that when I was winning battles, I wasn't really climbing, and in some cases I was still falling. So obviously it pays to hit that rank early in the month. So that's my sort of opinion of it. Alright, do you want to show your opponent your battle team's info? No. Okay, so we have dropped to 3437, but it's not too low. I think our standing last month was about rank 12,000 or something, and we sort of stagnated there. We couldn't move up or down from it. But plenty of days left this month. It is also the last month of Season 10, so or Series 10, sorry. Last month for Series 10. I don't think they've announced the rule set for Series 11. I think it was around this time that they announced Series 10, back when Series 9 was still in format. But they seem to be waiting just a bit longer. I think some people were saying that if it's if it's still like a month left to go of one season and they announce the rule set for the next one, it sort of kills the buzz around the current season. Obviously, there was a big draw for this season with no Dynamax, so it made a lot of people happy. Hello there, wifey. Glad you could pop in. Check, see what I'm doing. All right. I will choose the Armadillos team. Right, let's wait for some matches. And I've got to put these markers in just in case I... Ugh. There, I got that in quickly. Right, first battle of the day. Right, we're up against a Ice Rider Calyrex team. Ice Rider Calyrex, Oranguru, Grimmsnarl, Landorus, Serena, and Pepper. Okie dokie. So I think I was up against a team with Oranguru last time, and Calyrex can't really do much damage against it, at least the one which I've got set up. So how do I play around it? Looks like it's mostly a Trick Room team. So with that in mind, I can still... No, I think what I need is... Looking at that setup. Maybe Regieleki Entei. And... I think we can bring Calyrex. Well, obviously we're going to bring Calyrex, and then do I want Dragonite or Rillaboom or... Let's go Dragonite. He's got extreme speed. I've got to be careful of that Serena, because if Serena's out I can't do any priority moves, so no Grassy Glide, no Fake Out, nothing like that. So in that particular scenario I've got to just win with outright speed. Pelipper probably carries Wide Guard, has Rain on it. Right, Calyrex and Landorus, that's what they're leading with. That's already a good lead for us for, yeah, with these two. Now, the thing to worry about is that Calyrex probably has weakness policy. Yeah, maybe like a Sucker Punch on the Grimmsnarl perhaps to set it off. So I think go for Sacred Fire into the Landorus, and then maybe a Volt Switch into the... Oh, no. Nah, I think we should commit into the Calyrex. I should have seen that coming. First match of the day, it's fine. Earth Power into Entei, yeah, makes sense. Oh, that hurts. Let's try this. So we've no longer got the speed boost, but we can still do a Fire Punch. We can still do a Volt Switch. Let's do that. Probably on a losing footing here, but we'll see what happens. Right, they let us hit the Calyrex, which is good for us. We'll bring in Calyrex. Worried about the Earth Power from the Landorus, but we sort of put ourselves into that position. That was really our fault, really. But Landorus is substituting anyway. Alright, is Fire Punch enough? Probably not. Nah. Oh, but he got burned. Oh, nice. If I did to get weakness policy, but then we have... right, they're going to do Trick Room, that's fine. Right, what do I want to do here? What I'd like to do is... yeah, that's the thing. I think extreme speed in the Calyrex. Maybe they don't think that I have a good enough move. We'll do a protect with the Calyrex as well. Alright, they're protecting, it's fine. So we've revealed extreme speed, that's a problem. Although, that Calyrex could be going anyway, so I think... what do I do here? Maybe. Let's see what happens if I bring in Regieleki and then go for an Astral Barrage. See what happens. They may try and go Landorus. Alright, so I read that they're going to bring in Serena. This is good. There's Glacial Lance. It's regular. It's probably going to take out Regieleki. Yeah. But they are not going to live past that turn. Right, so now what they've still got 3 Pokemon. It's not looking good for us. Right, one thing that I did want to find out with that is whether or not Landorus was going to have a substitute still, but they don't, which is good. I can't extreme speed, but I can do other stuff. Maybe I dual wing beat the Serena. They might be going for substitute again. Let's see if we can. No, wait. I'll do protect with the Calyrex. This could be bad. I think I'm in a bad position anyway because Serena's probably going to have triple axle. Or that move. Alright, how many more turns of Trick Room do we have? One turn. We can go for a double protect, see if it hits, because otherwise we can't win. Nah. Oh well, it was worth it. Yeah, so my mistake there was the Entei on turn 1. No, it was trying to double into the Calyrex on the first turn. Should have realised that they'd have protect. I read it correctly in that it was a weakness policy set. But yeah, I think what I was thinking was that I needed to double into it to get rid of it. if I didn't double into it, then only one Pokemon would have hit it, and then it would have been able to just do Trick Room. Although they didn't read that I had, extreme speed on the Dragonite. Of course, because I don't think the Dragonite is good, but I don't think many people are using it at the moment. Well, I could be. Sorry, I could be wrong. All right. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. We've got some stuff to learn from that. Well, learned a couple of lessons there. So yeah, the best play there. So if the opponent was looking at me, looking at that lead, they'd see that I've got two Pokemon which I can double into their Calyrex if they try and do a Trick Room. So the best play for them was to protect, which they did. And then the Landorus, maybe the Landorus could have got taken out by Entei. Let's just see. So it's an adamant Entei. Picolytics damage calc. Let's have a look. So Entei, Picolytics set. That's a jolly. We want adamant. Adamant max attack versus Landorus sheer force. Landorus sheer force. Earth power, sacred edge. Okay, so it doesn't get the KO on it. So yeah, I think basically my problem was I was going to be losing that Entei on that turn anyway. But then switching it out for Dragonite would have been a good play, because they would have targeted the Entei, because the Entei was a bigger threat between that and Regieleki. So bringing in Dragonite would have meant they'd miss with Earth Power, and then I've still got enough to sort of like do stuff against their Calyrex. All right, I think I've overanalyzed that enough. Let's go on to the next match. Oh yeah, and I'm rubbing my eyes a bit, my eyes a lot. Can you tell I'm tired? But I still feel happy about where we are, because we are Master Rank, and there's no need to like climb that anymore. It's just we're just going for bragging rights now with ladder position, which we're failing at the moment because we're not winning any matches. Although that win-loss ratio is not too bad, 50-50. That'll soon change. Oh. Okay, let's go. Right, so here comes our next match. Who are we up against? Oh, it's a Giratina team. Okay, so they've got Giratina Origin Form. I think that's Origin Form. Cresselia. They've got Stack Attacker, Heatran, Thunderous, and then Tapu Bulu. Oh, this is an interesting team. Right, so now the Pokemon that I've got. Part of me thinks that Heatran's going to have like a balloon on it, just to like stop me from being able to hit it with a ground attack. Mienshao seems good here. The Giratina is a worry. Yeah, how to proceed here? So we can come in with I guess with like a strong lead hit. So I think Mienshao's worth it. I think also Rillaboom, just because it's got ground coverage. Entei, not so much. Dragonite could be good. Yeah, let's go with that. See how that works. They've brought one Pokemon within a focus, well, two Pokemon within a focus, one that can fake out. There's close combat, which will hurt a lot if it connects. This is an iffy matchup. Stack Attacker and Heatran. So Stack Attacker probably going for Trick Room. Potentially has Wide Guard. So an ideal thing here would be to break a Wide Guard if it happens, which we can do. So we could do Astral Barrage here against both, and then do a feint on Stack Attacker. Let's go for that. Yeah, I feel like Wide Guard's happening here, so let's stop that. Right, Heatran's coming out. Who's coming in? Tapu Bulu. Ooh, shiny. Right, Grassy Surge. Okay. What are you doing with your stacker? Does Feint get rid of Wide Guard? We're going to find out now, aren't we? There we go. Right, that's perfect. So now, what can we do here? We can do that again. Yeah, let's do it again, just to make sure that they're not going to like do something. We'll get the chip damage to make sure that we take them out. Oh, they're getting rid of them anyway. Heatran. All right, so hitting them with Feint will pop an air balloon if they had it. I can't remember if it said they had an air balloon. All right, they didn't. Okay. Right, Woodhammer will live. They won't. Alright, so far so good. Alright, Stack Attacker's coming back out. Now, they'll probably be worried about yeah, let's bring in a different Pokemon now. So we bring in Rilla, and then do close combat against, which one should we do? Let's do Heatran. Don't think that Heatran's done Protect yet. Wide Guard, that's fine, you're wasting a move again. You are running out of stuff to Wide Guard against. Alright, so they're down to 2. We have done fairly well against this lot. Alright, so Grassy Glide against Giratina, I think. Actually, can I get him with high horsepower? Oh, yes, I can. Alright, we'll do that. Do that, and then close combat against the Stack Attacker, I guess. Right, they're gone. Now it's just the Giratina. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the speed tier of Giratina. That's the one problem. Mian Shell I thought was going to drop anyway. Alright, it has got levitate. Okay, now we know. Now we know. Okay. I think we've got enough to take care of this. It is a ghost type, so we've only really got, like, say, Grassy Glide that's going to hit it with, like, priority moves. Alright, let's do that. And Astral Barrage, I guess. Let's see if we get a knockout on it. Fair damage. Well, hey! No, critical hit. Did I need that? Oh, I want to check that. But yeah, win for us. Woohoo! Alright, Calyrex, Shadow, go for the Picolytic set, get rid of Life Orb because we're not carrying that, against Giratina, O, there's the right one, isn't it? Oh no, yeah, Giratina Origins, but it's got a blank set, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so Giratina against an uninvested Giratina, it's not enough for a one-hit KO. So we'll just go with that. It's yeah, it wasn't going to do that. Its base speed is 90. Okay, that's quite. I think that's quite easy to remember for most of the legendaries. That most of them are around 90 base speed. Of course, I can use my fancy little stats thing to see it. Let's have a look. Giratina Origin. Maybe that works. There we go. Just had to make sure that the API that I'm calling it recognises that name, but it does. That's good. So Master Rank has been given to each of those Pokemon in the team. That's good. Let's move on to our next match. Battle number 3. Yeah, so 3591, so we climbed about 100 points, facing someone who was I think less than 1,000 ranks below us, or places below us. But yeah, I liked that match. That was pretty good. Playing around their wide guard, which they put a lot of faith into. Right, here's our next match, and we've got Entei, Grimmsnarl, Hydreigon, Zacian, Landorus, and then a Machamp. Okay, interesting one. Right, so Hydreigon and Grimmsnarl will both do well against the Calyrex, I think. So I've got to be careful how I play my Calyrex here. Entei is a good lead, I think. As is Dragonite, I feel. Or is it? No, I think it is actually, because if they leave with Zacian, we can get them with Entei, and that should outspeed most, like all of their team, as long as they haven't got their own choice Scarf Entei. But we'll find out. Go with that. Bring Rillaboom and then bring Calyrex. Let's try that. Oh wow, he's up in the air. Nice lead card there. Right, so coming out with Machamp and Zacian. Machamp for fake out, I guess. But of course we're leading with 2 inner focus mons. I am unfamiliar with the base speed of Machamp. Right, so if I go with Sacred Fire, there's only really like 2 Pokemon that can resist that. So yeah, Sacred Fire seems like a good thing to go with. Yeah, we'll go with that, and then I guess we want dual wing beat from the Dragonite onto Machamp. What do they do? Zacian protects, that's fine. Good stuff. So Machamp gone. I've got no idea what they were going to do with that Machamp now. Probably better that I don't know what was going to be the play with that. Alright, so now I've got a Hydreigon. I am unfamiliar with Hydreigon's speed. Could be problematic. Right, they haven't brought out they haven't switched out Zacian. Against my team, they could bring Zacian. They could also bring Landorus. I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna try against you again, and then I guess what we want against the Hydreigon is Superpower. Right, they withdrew Zacian in favour of Landorus. Okay, so Sacred Fire is still going to hurt them. And we get a burn, nice. Alright, this is going to hurt. That's fine. At least I think it's fine. Alright, we've got a Rillaboom. Are you going to do much? Yeah, I've got to be careful here. Hydreigon, pretty sure has Levitate on it. What I really need to do is I really need to preserve Entei if I can. Yeah, so who can I sack out of the Pokemon that I've brought? Can't really sack anyone, really. Let's go for that, and then go for a Grassy Glide into Landorus. It's nasty because I haven't really got anything that can counter that Hydreigon at the moment. Just all going to be sort of chip damage, really. Fancy hat, same team as before? Yes, it is. Hi there, Timmy. How you doing? Or Zimmy. I don't know how to pronounce your name. No burn, but they're going to go Earth Power. Oh, we live. It's fine. Okay, so just do the Z, silent the T, etc. So that'd be Zimmy. Alright, I'm gonna switch out to Calyrex here. Zimmy, okay, cool. And let's do Grassy Glide on Hydreigon, it's not going to do much, but it'll do some chip. Basically, I feel like they're going to do Protect with Zacian. Do it, go on, do it. Do Protect, you know you're on it. Yeah, there we go, called it. Dark Pulse, eek! They read that I was going to come in with Calyrex. Lucky I got that Focus Sash. Right, I wonder now, is Astral Barrage plus Grassy Glide enough? Could be enough, couldn't it? Let's give it a try. Come on, that's got to be it. I was playing very brave there. Just thinking that they weren't going to have like Sucker Punch or something. Does Hydreigon learn Sucker Punch? I feel like it would. I haven't seen Hydreigon in a very long while. Is it any good in Series 10? Going by that, you can play around it fairly well. Oh, and he hasn't even killed my Rillaboom yet. No, I don't think so. Let me check. Yeah, I just see Dark Pokemon. I just think it's like if it's able to learn Sucker Punch, then it probably has to carry it in this format, just as a way to counter Calyrex. So in one of my other teams, I had a Grimmsnarl with Sucker Punch. Just because, no, there you go, battle cancelled. Just because the, yeah, I think Sucker Punch, and even with on a Grimmsnarl, will even one-hit KO a Shadow Rider Calyrex. Basically, any sort of dark move will just one-shot Calyrex because it's 4 times weak. I think for that reason as well, you can't really run it as like a weakness policy set, so you can't. I don't think you'd be able to do like a Shadow Sneak or something onto it, or like a beat up or anything on it. That's thank you for playing. Da, 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 da. Yeah, so no Sucker Punch and Hydreigon. That's good to know. And what was it, speed stat? I mean, I've got the this app. Well, I say it's an app, it's just basically it only has like 2 commands on it, but let's have a look. 98 base speed. Okay. So definitely faster than Rillaboom if it wasn't using Grassy Glide. And faster than my Dragonite. Alright, so let's... Oh yeah, I can check out their team. Actually, I'm interested in their team, so... Okay, so their Entei, what did it have? Had a Life Orb. Okay, so we would have outsped it anyway if they brought it. We had Stone Edge on our Entei, so we would have been able to get... It does learn Headbutt though, since it's all heads. Ah, that makes sense. You know, it'd be really cool actually if it having 3 heads, if it did Headbutt 3 times when it does that attack. You know, sort of like Mega Kangaskhan with Parental Bond. That'd be amazing. Okay, so yeah, Sacred Fire, Snarl, Extreme Speed, Stomping Tantrum. Alright, so it's using a couple of support moves there. Adamant makes sense, but not carrying Choice Scarf. Grimmsnarl, Thunder Wave, Spirit Break. No Sucker Punch on Grimmsnarl, but it sets up barriers. And okay, so they just had full on like no Protect on that Hydreigon. Then I guess you don't really need to run Protect on Hydreigon most of the time, because I guess it's quite bulky most of the time. That's they seem to have registered that that Zacian with only like one point left in Iron Head. But that's a fairly standard set. And then yeah, Weatherborn Landorus. Wait a minute. Weather Ball. Right, Dynamic Punch, Knockoff, Stone. Right, they had a Machamp on their first turn, which I just knocked out with Dual Wing Beat, and I had no idea what its moveset was. It probably could have dealt with my Entei if I had just left it unchecked. So glad that I got rid of that. Yeah, where's their weather setter? Knockoff is a pain. Yeah, Knockoff. I don't actually see a lot of Knockoff in this. It would be really good, but because yeah, Rillaboom can run Knockoff, and I even had that on a set before. But yeah, I mean at the moment I've got no sort of like ground moves on my team apart from Rillaboom, so that's why I've given it high horsepower. Yeah, it's the move that removes items. So yeah, I think it does more damage if the Pokemon is holding an item, and then basically just removes their item. I think back when Mega Evolutions and Z Stones were there, then Knockoff wouldn't remove the item, and I think it wouldn't get the damage boost either. I think there's maybe a couple of items like that in this format, so I guess the Rusty Sword and Rusty Shield, I guess you can't knock off those either, and I guess that doesn't trigger the extra damage from Knockoff either. I haven't looked it up. I saw it being used a bit in the team's worlds these past weeks at Victory Road VGC channel. Oh yeah, I need to watch those, because that was the full World Cup, wasn't it? That was, what was the final? Was it Spain versus Italy? I can't remember. But yeah, I need to check out those teams, because obviously whatever's doing good in those tournaments, I'll be seeing more of on the ladder. Yeah, it's going to be, if I remember correctly. Oh, so they haven't had it yet, so we're still waiting for the final. Going back to this team, Weatherball, I don't know why they've got Weatherball and Landorus, because they haven't got any way of setting weather on their team. So I think that's kind of short-sighted, relying on the other person to set weather for you. Yeah, it was semis last weekend. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. See when that's. Do you know when they're having the finals? See if I can find out. Then maybe I'll watch that if I can if I get the free time. Alright, so let's get the marker in for Battle 4. I assume this coming weekend. I missed the very last bit. Ah, okay. That's fine. Yeah, I'll see if I can. I'll probably be able to find out on Twitter when it is. So we'll do that. Yeah, this is our current standing on Master Rank, so we're doing well. I did get Master Rank off stream, so apologies for that. But we wasn't able to see a journey this month. I just played a bit off stream and then just happened to get Master Rank within like a few matches. You should have seen the match I did to get Master Rank as well. What did I lead with? I led with Entei. Yeah, I led with an Entei and Mienshao, and the other person had a Ho-Ho team. So they led with Ho-Ho and Incineroar, and outspeed both of them. Stone Edge on Ho-Ho, one hit KO, and then close combat from Mienshao onto Incineroar, one hit KO. So first turn I just wiped out half their team. It was like perfect turn one. It was brilliant. And yeah, I think I can't even remember what they had on the rest of their team. But then the match was over pretty quickly, and then there I was, hit Master Rank straight away. It was brilliant. If only I was recording it. Alright, so let's go into our next match. Yeah, see the Mienshao was. I'll talk about it in a second. Let's see what we're up against. Ooh, rank 665. That's quite high. Alright, they've got Incineroar, Xerneas, Rillaboom, Regieleki, Urshifu, and a Volcarona. Okie dokie. So what's my choices against the Volcarona? Got Dragonite there, which could be good. I haven't really got anything good against the Xerneas, apart from my own Calyrex, really. That Urshifu, maybe it's water to complete a Firegrass water core. Well, I've seen before sometimes that the single strike Urshifu is becoming a lot more common now. Oops, pardon me. I think Entei and do we go Mienshao? Mienshao, what would you be good against? Not really much there. So maybe Entei, Dragonite, I think, because should be fairly good against the Volcarona. We've also got Entei to take care of Volcarona. Rillaboom, just because we can get priority moves off of that, and then bring Calyrex in the back. Right, there we go. We've got some inner focus Pokemon that we're bringing. So I think I'm leading with Entei and Dragonite. If they lead with Xerneas, that could be problematic. Yeah, so going back to earlier, that Mienshao, that was really satisfying because yeah, I just found that people are using Mienshao because close combat from it will OHKO Incineroar on the sets that's being used by it at the moment. So it's absolutely brilliant. Okay, I think we go Stone Edge here. And then maybe go dual wing beat into the. Nah, hold on. I feel like what they're going to do is they're going to target the Dragonite. So maybe we go Rillaboom. What we want is for them to do Rage Powder with the Volcarona, which we don't really care about. Because we get Stone Edge, we should take it out. Rage Powder, that's fine. So they're going for Geomancy. We know that much. Bye-bye to your Volcarona. And Sin is one of my least favourite Pokemon. The design's disappointingly meh, and it's freaking oppressive. Every team runs that shit. Oh, yeah, it is overused, but for good reason, really, because it was good typing. It's got Intimidate. It can Fake Out. It's it's basically got so many advantages on it. So it does become a crutch in a way for some people's team building, because I guess they just go through their thought process of putting a team together, and then they go, well, I've got space for a fire Pokemon. Let's put an Incineroar just because he's good. Yeah, it's really good stats, typing moves, everything matches. So yeah, why wouldn't it be used? But I mean, there are counters to it. So I mean, this Entei being a good one, inner focus, so can't be intimidated, is immune to Fake Out. Oh, we've stopped ourselves from being able to use that move. We can still use Sacred. Oh, it did Stone Edge. Never mind. That's fine though. Stone Edge, and we'll go Grassy Glide as well. Oh, of course you're going to protect, aren't you? Whoops. I got cocky. Thunderbolt into Entei doesn't take me out. So have that. Alright. Right, now you know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do that again. Yeah, so what have I got? I've still got Dragonite, and I've still got Calyrex in the back. Who you bring in? Your own Rillaboom. Okay, that's fine. That's not so fine. Have you found anything to smooth out change in the team? It's hard because there's a lot of good choices in this team. What I have found though is I don't think I'm bringing Dragonite that much to each match. I find that I am using all the Pokemon in the team, so I haven't got say one Pokemon that's just sat on the bench constantly, and I just keep going like, well, I don't want that one. I want something else. What I want is I want to get rid of that Xerneas. Right, I think if I double into it again, maybe they don't think I have extreme speed. Right, you tried to go for fake out, which is actually that was a good move. Damn, should have thought about that. Alright, we're going to lose this one. Basically, I let Xerneas set up, which is stupid of me. Because now they can just ooh, alright, hold that thought. Right, Grassy Terrain has got one more turn. Let me protect. How do you stop the setup? The herb allows him to Geomancy in the turn, right? Yeah, so you can fake him out. That will stop it. You can do Taunt, so stops any sort of status moves from being used. What else? I guess if you're able to do a knockoff before they do Geomancy, then that means it locks them into 2 turns. You can do Encore as well, so that means they'll do Geomancy again. They can't protect, and I mean obviously they'll get the stat boost from that, but it means they're wasting another turn. It should allow you to get another hit in. And there's also obviously you've got the Haze or like a Defog or something. No, clear Smog. That's it from Amoongus. What was it doing here? Alright, come on, live. Right, we at least showed them we were focused dash, but that Rillaboom is just going to knock me out now. It will live through this. Both of them will live. That's a shame. Yeah, it's because I wasn't able to sort out that Xerneas. Do you remember what happened on the turn 1 of that? They didn't protect with Xerneas, did they? I can't remember what happened now. No, I believe they didn't. Yeah, they didn't protect turn 1. I led with Entei and oh yeah, that was it. They had Volcarona and Xerneas. So what I could have done was I could have brought maybe like a fake out and a taunt lead. So yeah, having Calyrex, I could have done taunt, and then having Rillaboom or something, I could have faked out the Volcarona. Of course, the problem is that Volcarona. Yeah, that Volcarona. No, because if I taunted, then they wouldn't have been able to do Geomancy for quite a few turns. So then that would have allowed me to punish them. Well, force them into switching out the Xerneas for something else. Yeah, so I'll need to remember that next time. I have got options on the team to take care of that. I just didn't use them in that match. Yeah, so thinking of the team. So in terms of speed control, I've got Electro Web on the Regieleki, but besides that, I haven't got much else. I do have priority moves, but if the other person's using a Serena, or if Psychic Terrain is set up, then that does limit me as a lot. Of course, if they do Psychic Terrain, then that helps with Psyshock from Calyrex. What's the worst ones that we can come up against? Probably Dark type Urshifu. Although if I lead with, say, like trying to think now. No, if I knew it was Dark type Urshifu, then I could lead with, say, Calyrex and maybe Mienshao, and then Mienshao should be able to bring Urshifu down to its sash, if it is sashed, or just knock it out straight away, hopefully. Yeah, I think if I get some time, I'll be able to like look at where the weaknesses are in the team. I mentioned earlier as well that there's only one ground move I'm using for the whole team, so there's not a lot of like ground coverage moves. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, because when you talk about coverage moves and you say, oh, you're missing ground coverage, that means you haven't got many moves that are ground type. It doesn't mean that you're missing a load of moves that could deal with ground types. I think I've got that right, haven't I? Anyway, let's find another match, shall we? I don't know, I don't play VGC. Oh, you're telling me this now? All competitive. Ah, damn. Although you highlight a key point there, it's really me that should be looking this up. Okay, so against our next opponent, they have got a Kyogre team. So they've got Rillaboom, Landorus, Tornadus, Kyogre. They've got Tapu Lele, and then they've got a they've got a Feeble. That's interesting. I have not encountered a Feeble before, so I have no idea what to expect. What I am expecting though is if I go, what should I do here? See, I could bring. No, don't do that. No, do that. What I'd like to do is I would like to reset their terrain. So I think in that lineup, probably bring Mienshao, bring Calyrex, bring Rillaboom, and then who else? Bring Regieleki, I think. No, bring Regieleki, but be careful of that Landorus. That Landorus is going to be a problem if I get left with Regieleki. Entei in the rain is going to be a bit bad. Yeah, that's true. Right, let's see how this works. Right, Feeble and Tapu Lele. Right, I've got to pay attention to speed tiers here. Right, so it is going to be a Psychic Surge. Feeble, I'm guessing, might have like Sucker Punch or something. Oh, what happened there? Psychic Seed? Yeah. Alright. Yeah, let's have some info there. So yeah, dark type. So not going to be hurt too much by thingies. Now, do I need to preserve that Mian Xiao? Don't think so. I think what I could do here is I could close combat and just get rid of that Feeble, just to make sure it's not going to do anything weird. And then maybe I'll protect here just in case it is like... No, they can't Sucker Punch, can they? Silly me. We may just be losing the Mian Xiao. Ah, I see. Fake tears. It's Prankster. No, it's not. Not. What am I saying? Let's just get rid of it. Go on. Bye bye. Alright, it's going to be Expanding Force from Tapu Lele. Or it's not. What did Tapu Lele do? I wasn't really paying much attention. Now here's a worry. Maybe here is where I want Wide Guard. I'll do it, and then we'll do Astral Barrage because I think they're going to be setting up Tailwind here. Let's go for it. Come on, show me Tailwind. There it is. Expanding Force? Go on, do it, do it. Ah! They didn't do it. Wow, Tapu Lele's gone. Worth, yeah. Totally worth it. Alright, here comes Landorus. Okie dokie. Right, so they've got 3 turns of Tailwind. What's the Pokemon I brought in the back? Regieleki and Rillaboom. How to proceed here. Try to feint on the Tornadus and then protect. What we want is a free switch in for Rillaboom. But then that's good. So, all right, Grass Knot. So. What Pokemon they got? Right, they are down to... They didn't even bring Kyogre! Madness! Alright, fair enough. Let's bring in our Regieleki. Because the moment Tailwind goes, they're screwed. So we can afford to... Go on, do it. Yes! We can afford to sack the Regieleki. And let's see if we can get a close combat on it, and then yeah, basically Regieleki has no value here, so yeah, battle cancelled. We win. Wow. So let's see. To be frank, they do have. Well, to be fair, they do have both Tornadus and Landorus. That doesn't seem very synergistic, but again, I don't know, Jack. I was fully expecting them to set up Tailwind and then have Kyogre in the back, because that's usually how it plays out. So usually what happens is they'll do Tailwind expecting one of their Pokemon to be sacked, and then out comes Kyogre, and then they've got several turns of Tailwinds, which I can't stall out because Kyogre hits like a truck. But they just didn't bring it. How? Why? I mean, if you look at my team, the water is actually a fairly good answer against my team, because yeah, the only thing that is not going to hit super effectively is well, the only thing that's going to resist it is Rillaboom with an Assault Vest, but even a full power Water Spout is going to hurt that a lot, I would have thought. I mean, let me check the calcs on that, because I want to make sure I'm like talking sense here. Yeah, so Kyogre Picolytic set. So this one's running Mystic Water. Yeah, I guess we can go with that. And then that against a Rillaboom Picolytic set. So Assault Vest. Okay, so Water Spout doesn't do that much. That's something I should bear in mind. Oh, there we go. I've learned something. So actually, Rillaboom is actually quite a good resist against Water Spout. But then I hadn't shown it at that point. I think they could have got away with. Well, it would have been beneficial if they had Kyogre, because it would have wiped the floor with my Calyrex if it was in Tailwind. Yeah, I think they missed out there. Oh well, we win. Right, we're on to battle number 6. Out of the way, Totodile. Can't see the time. I did have a chance to see what was on their team there, but I missed it. So we are 3-4-2-0. Oh, in non-Pokemon related news, you know, Metroid Dread is coming out coming out tomorrow. Do you reckon you'll be playing that? Kyogre tends to run an ice move to deal with stuff Water can't, though. Still, another really good setup for them would be Rillaboom and Leftovers. Rillaboom and Leftovers. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll mull that over in a second. Alright, so here's our next team. Ooh, so we've got a Zapdos Shedinja. This is interesting. Got a Groudon, a Heatran, a Whimsicott, and then they've got a Guzzlord. Oh, this is a very interesting looking team. Alright, how do we deal with this? So, how did I deal with a Heatran team last time? I used Close Combat against it. Right, so let's have a look. So obviously I want stuff that's going to take out that Shedinja. So Fire, Flying, Ghost types attacks. I mean, I've got enough of those. So we want something to fake out the Whimsicott. So we've got that. Bring Mienshao, because that's it'll hurt Guzzlord, it'll hurt Heatran. Oh, I'm running out of time here. Bring Entei. Let's say bring Rillaboom, and then Calyrex. There we go. We'll just have to deal with that. Zapdos might have Rocky Helmet. That's fine. As long as we can hurt it lots, should be fine. That's my thinking. But yeah, grassy train. Oh, I meant grassy train from Rilla and Leftovers on Ogre. The thing with Rillaboom is if you're running Adamant Rillaboom, I think it usually OHKOs Kyogre. Right, they've got Whimsicott and then they've got Guzzlord. I've got Mienshao and I've got Entei. Not sure on the speed of that Guzzlord. I think it's quite slow. I'd like to think that I could maybe do close combat on them. If I do close combat, they've only got like a Shedinja that might do something against me. Let's close combat you, and then we'll do a Sacred Fire on the Whimsicott. Maybe we get burn on them. Right, you're protecting, that's fine. Ah, they both protect. Come on. What I should have done was feint. Hey ho. Right, so what could I switch in? Not really much there. If I go close combat again, they could bring in Shedinja. So maybe what I want to do is close combat followed by Sacred Fire into the Guzzlord. Let's do that. Because if they bring in Shedinja, then also the Shedinja might have Sash. Right, Whimsicott's coming out. Who's coming in instead? Groudon. Okay, that is fine because you're boosting my fire moves. All right, now what's coming in? Shedinja. You know it. Right, that's good. Right, so close combat. Oh, we got a burn. Yes. Yes. Oh. Oh, somebody clip that. Oh, you love to see it. Oh, that was perfect. Oh, what can you do against that? Jesus Christ. Alright, so we still got to worry here with Groudon. So, what have I got? I've got Rillaboom. We'll do Feint against the Whimsicott. And then we'll bring in Rillaboom. Because I think what they'll do is they'll try a ground move and we're going to resist that. Well, it's going to be Precipice Blades, isn't it? Yeah, but... So that, yeah, Sacred Fire, it's a 50-50 coin flip. We managed to get a burn there. It was stacked in our favour, so that was good. Alright, Mienchao's gone. That's fine. So it's going to be... Ooh, interesting. So that's a life orb, and well, hey, burn. Thanks for that. So that's a life orb, I guess. Chlorophyll, Whimsicott. An interesting choice of Mon. Alright, so now, how should I proceed here? So I could... They still got... yeah, they still got Guzzlord in the back. Problematic. Where do I go here? Sacred Fire is going to hurt Groudon. Or do I go for... Let's go for... No. No, let's do it. Fake out Groudon, and then Sacred Fire on the Whimsicott. Gone anyway, okay. Can we get a burn on Guzzlord? That'd be brilliant if we can. Go on, burn, burn, burn. Whee! Oh, about Metroid, no, not really. Not too keen on the looks of it, gameplay aside. Ah, that's a shame. That's not to worry though. Burns on point, yes. Yes, they are. Alright, so we didn't see a tailwind or anything from Whimsicott, so we've still got the speed priority here. So what do I want to do? We can lay some chip into yeah, lay some chip in. How many more turns of sunlight have they got? 2 more turns, okay. Let's do this. No, it's a berry. That's fine. Right, what are we seeing here? Precipice Blades. Would have been avoided it. Ah, it's going to get Entei. Wow. Oh, there goes my assault vest. But check that out, we've still got an Entei. Alright, what do I want to do here? They've got one more turn of drought. What are the EVs on that? The EVs on, oh, on the Entei. It doesn't have any. I think it's only got like 4 HP EVs. Right, let's bring in Calyrex, and then let's do a Grassy Glides on Groudon. Now, if they're smart, they'll probably. Would it help them? It may help them actually. That's a weirdly trained Groudon. I'm not too sure. I think what I'll check it later. But right, so yeah, I'm bringing Entei out. We're bringing in Calyrex. Are they withdrawing anyone? No, they're not. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I'll look it up, but I think that the yeah, trying to think here, but I think that the like damage calc wise, I think Groudon doesn't KO Entei, or there may be like a small chance that it doesn't OHKO it. Like even with like no HP investment, or like with got 4 HP. Alright, so we still have a so we've got a U. Let's protect here. They've got Moonblast. I don't know what else they've got. Actually, it's fine if we go with our like big attacks. Do that first. Right, they're not doing anything special. Right, does this get the KO? No, it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. We did just get hurt. Oh, Life Orb Whimsicott. Who'd have thought? Oh, that's not good. That is not good. I think we've just lost this. Oh, damn you bloody thingy terrain. Alright, Grassy Terrain's gone. Right, how do I do this now? Do we think that they're going to protect with the Whimsicott? Let's assume that they do. Oh, damn it. That Guzzlord is so bulky. Alright, so we can see here that Dark types can wall my team. That is so weird though, using a Life Orb Whimsicott. I mean, it's working on the team, but that is surprising. I've not seen that kind of set before. I guess with Sun, you're outspeeding a lot of things, and yeah, the only weird bit is that it's only really got Moonblast to hit with, and then there is a lot of fire types out there which would like stop you from getting that good damage. There's Zacian as well, which doesn't take much damage from that from fairy type moves. It's risky, but it worked out for them. So fair play. After having that little chuckle there when I got out there, knocked out their Shedinja, and then they still get me in the end anyway. That's master rank. Yes, but given Eos Moonblast in that situation where it's 2v1, if it doesn't protect, they assure the kill. Yeah, I think I was in a losing point anyway, because looking at it, that Guzzlord is just way too hefty. What I reckon what I'd need on my team is maybe some fairy type coverage, maybe some like fairy moves on my team. Because if I had just one fairy type move, then that Guzzlord would have just gone like that, 4 times weak to a fairy move. So like a play rough or something, that would work wonders. But I don't have it on my team at the moment. Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't think any of the Pokemon that I've picked have like good fairy type coverage. But I could be wrong. This is something I need to look up when I actually like go into like the Pikalytics team builder. But yeah, we found a hole in the team. Is the main point. But yeah, thanks again for that clip. I'll watch that again at my leisure. that was brilliant. So what I was expecting to do was hit their focus sash and then have to deal with them again on the next turn. But yeah, Burn just got rid of them straight away. And yeah, when you're running Sacred Fire, you're basically maximising your chance of getting a burn on them, because it's a 50-50 chance. So it's just a coin flip each time. It's brilliant. That's one of my favourite things about Entei. Just being able to learn. They hard switch too, right? Yeah, they hard switched into Shedinja. So yeah, what did I have? So I had Entei and I had Mienshao, didn't I? And what was their leading to? They had Whimsicott, and then they had Whimsicott, and then they had thingy. So they double protected on turn 1, so that allowed them to scope out what moves I had, and then they knew that I was going to try close combat again into the. Alright, that's what I did wrong. So probably what I should have done was try and keep hold of Mienshao, because that was the only real answer against their Guzzlord. I wonder if what's the no, I'll save it for later because it's going to take me too long to look it up. So we'll move on to the next match. So yeah, I'm not too worried about losses here. I'm just what's more important is that I get the experience doing all these matches, and yeah, get all the experience from these matches, and then use that knowledge to build better teams and learn better plays against some of these teams. So it's when I realise that I won't have a good enough answer against some teams. That's when I realise that there is a hole in the team that I've built. Let's have a look at their team. So it was a Safety Goggles Zapdos, Discharge, Weather Ball, Volt Switch Protect. So Weather Ball, I guess, in place of Heat Wave because they're setting Drought. Timid build, that's standard. Shedinja, it had Focus Sash, yeah, it did. Will-O-Wisp, Shadow Sneak, Skitter Smack, Protect. So Shadow Sneak, so yeah, using that as a counter for Calyrex then, the Shadow Sneak move. So pardon me. What else we got? Fairly standard Groudon one, but missing Sword Dance. So if I got a burn on Groudon, that would have really impacted on them because they got no way to raise their attack again. What? It had a White Herb. Okay, so if I tried to intimidate them, then it would have shook that off. But I don't run any intimidate mons on my team. Heatran, what did you have? Choppleberry. Okay, so there was me thinking that I could go with close combat into Heatran, and it's carrying Choppleberry. Flashfire, Flamethrower, Earth Power, Substitute Protect. So it's just a bulky Heatran. Right, here we go then. So Life Orb, Whimsicott had Grass Knot and Moonblast, and then it's got Encore and Protect. What could I have done? It's not Prankster, it's Chlorophyll. Yeah. So I guess they're running Chlorophyll because they're worried about. Well, it's because they're using Sun to boost their speed and get the to move first. And I guess if they're running Prankster, then they have the worry of going into other dark Pokemon. Doesn't Whimsicott run Tailwind, or am I getting confused? Yeah, most of the time you will see it with Tailwind. So when I saw it come out, I thought they're gonna set up Tailwind and they're gonna outspeed me. But instead they were setting Chlorophyll, so Whimsicott went before me, but all the other ones were still just base speed. I think their Tailwind setter was Zapdos. No, it's not. Oh. So what did Guzzlord have? Knock off, Snarl, Wide Guard, Protect. Okay, so they're only relying on weather to set up their speed. They haven't got anything else to get the speed advantage. So if I was to go against that team again, then I need something that's going to either hit neutral or super effective into Guzzlord. I think I don't think Entei was too bad. No, I don't think I've got like good enough answers against Guzzlord on the team. I've got Mian Xiao, which maybe could have done some damage to it. But other than that, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, the usual Whimsicott set is Focus Sash or maybe like a Cobra Berry or something, and then you have like Tailwind, Moonblast. Grass Knot is a fair move. Takes care of was it Kyogre and Groudon. And then I guess Protect or Taunt. It's got so many moves. It suffers from 4 move syndrome. So it's got so many options. It just makes it hard to pick a build that you think would work best on your team. But most of the time it'll be Tailwind, Protect, Moonblast, and Grass Knot. I think that's not even Grass Knot. Maybe you run their Helping Hand instead. But yeah, Encore is another good one for it. Anyway, shall we move on? I'm getting stuck here, like analysing the other person's team. This is all good fun, though. I'm having fun. How about you? Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame you're not into Metroid, but yeah, I'm definitely into it. So I'll be starting to play that from this weekend. Hopefully, if I can get it delivered before I go down to see my family. Alright, so here's the next team. So we've got Ice Rider Calyrex with Incineroar, Indeedee, Torkoal, Stack Attacker, and Mimikyu. So this is a hard Trick Room team. Hard Trick Room. So the Trick Room setters would be, well, they got 3 Trick Room setters. Jesus Christ. How do I proceed here? What I'd want is something that's going to hurt a lot against whatever lead they have. I don't have any speed investment on Rillaboom, but it sits on the same speed tier, I think, as Indeedee, which makes it difficult. So, and I've got to be careful about that Mimikyu. Alright. So maybe Entei, I'm going to have to go with Entei, Rillaboom, and then maybe we'll do Dragonite. No. Oh, both my choices are weak to that Mimikyu. Damn it. Right, we're going to have to go with that. This, I think, is another hard matchup for me. Hard Trick Room. I like Metroid, but I don't really like the looks of the new one. Looks a bit cheap, a bit like CGI play though. Is it just because it's using like? I mean, maybe you could call it an overused 2.5D style of platform game. But I think with the Metroid Dread, I guess in a way it's testing the waters, because we haven't had any real news about Metroid Prime 4, and obviously there's a lot of people that really want to see that. But yeah, it's just not. We're not seeing anything for it. So I think maybe if they get enough people liking Metroid Dread, then maybe they go like, right, guys, we need to get the Metroid Prime 4 back into production. Need to actually tell people that stuff is happening with that. Right, I'll go Sacred Fire into Mimikyu, and then I feel like they're going to bring in Indeedee or something. No, wait, why would they? Let's do U-turn, just for the hell of it. You know what I could have done? Actually, I don't think I've got the enough speed investment for it. Nah, I don't think it would work. Ignore my ramblings. Right, so it is going to be a Trick Room. So now we've got all the fun of potentially like having, you know, play rough, all that stuff. Right, I want that Mimikyu gone. There's Incineroar there. There's also a Torkoal they could have. Stack Attacker as well. I feel like they'd be wanting to bring their Calyrex. Let's do this. Really have no idea what the best thing to do here is. Yeah, just to go back over that rambling. So if Metroid Dread does well, then I feel like Metroid Prime 4 has got a better chance of actually seeing the light of day. Ice Rider Calyrex or Indeedee. Calyrex. Fine. Ah, they missed. Go on, burn, burn, burn. Yeah! Nice. Now, would that... they'd set up Trick Room, hit with Incin and soft switch to Calyrex. Something like that, on point. Yeah, you were nearly there. Right, I've got to be really careful here because... I mean, first off, if I get a burn on them, it invalidates any sort of weakness policy they may have. They can Shadow Sneak it on, which is a worry. What do I want to do here? I feel like I've got no choice, so I'm going to have to go with it. Although, doing that, they waste a Trick Room turn. Oh, it's going to be Will-O-Wisp. That's no fun. Alright, let me check how many turns of Trick Room they've got. I think they've got like 2 left? Yeah, 2 left. Two left, and potentially they may try and double up the Trick Room. Right, they're not doubling it up. Right, that is still a worry. That oh, look at that! That does nothing. Right, come on, get rid of Mimikyu. Right, they still have an Incineroar. But they haven't shown me what their 4th Pokemon is, if it's like another Trick Room setter. It is another Trick Room setter, okay. Another Trick Room setter, and it's likely to be weakness policy and all that. Do I? Right, I'm gonna take a chance here and bring Dragonite out. And then maybe protect with the Calyrex. Of course, what I may be seeing here is a double Trick Room thing. So I may have just played into their hands. Actually, I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Oh dear. Ain't I a sucker? Well, that's... What can I do here now? Yeah, they've won. that's basically it. Yeah, free switch. Yeah. No, there's no coming back from that. GG, let them have the win. at least by cancelling that game early, we might have time for at least one other battle. Yeah, so far we've chalked up two big holes in the team. So bulky dark types are a problem, and then the other problem is hard trick room teams, because we build our. Obviously, it would make sense that a hard trick room team would be hard for us because the team is mostly built on speed. So I'm a bit confused on why this was a straight loss. What exactly does weakness policy do? So what I was thinking was going to happen is if I did Sacred Fire on the Calyrex, then it wouldn't have knocked it out, because Calyrex does have a fair bit of bulk to it. It would have procced weakness policy, which doubles its attack and special attack if hit by a super effective attack. So they already had one boost. They would have been boosted up even more, which would have guaranteed them a knockout with a knockout against my Entei, which is probably my best counter I had against them. And yeah, Dragonite I wouldn't have been able to switch in properly because Glacial Lance would have one-shotted it. And my only way of saving Shadow Rider would have been the Focus Sash, which would have made it last one turn, but then if they double into it, then it's done, and I don't know if that Stack Attacker had Wide Guard on it. So if I tried to go with it, was it Astral Barrage, there's a fair chance that it would have just Wide Guarded and blocked it. So yeah, basically I played poorly there. Seeing that many Trick Room setters on the team, I figured that one of their strategies would be to, on the last turn of Trick Room, reverse it and then set it back up again to extend it. So yeah, with one turn of Trick Room left, if they both use Trick Room, then they set it up for another 5 turns. So guaranteeing that they're going to win. I've seen it happen once before in another game and didn't realise that could be done. And when I saw it, I thought, oh no. Oh, they're going to let us see their team though, so we can see it now. Yeah, so weakness policy, which means the Mimikyu probably has Shadow Sneak. Yep, there it is. So that's another way for them to set up weakness policy. They can just get Mimikyu to tap it, to do like a couple of HP damage, and then it's already got double attack. We saw Will-O-Wisp, we saw Play Rough, we saw Trick Room. Stack Attacker, Wide Guard. Yeah. So wouldn't have been able to use a spread move because they would have just blocked it straight away. Gyro Ball, Trick Room, Rock Slides, fairly standard. The Calyrex had high horsepower, so they would have been able to deal with my Entei as well, which is I figured they would be. Protect, Trick Room, Glacial Lance, we saw all those. Incineroar, fairly basic. Yeah, Fake Out Flare Blitz, Parting Shot, Snarl. Parting Shot and Snarl. I would have. I mean, for my build, I would have had one or the other. I wouldn't have had both. What item did it have? Citrus Berry? Yeah, of course it does. Indeedee was one I was worried about. So when I had Rillaboom out, I figured that what they could do is just bring out Indeedee and then set up Psychic Terrain, and I can't do Fake Out or anything like that. But they didn't even bring it. And yeah, again, Follow Me, Expanding Force, Helping Hand, Protect. It's a hard Trick Room team and it's built really well. So that was always going to be a hard match for me, and it's well deserved that they beat me. See, I enjoy Trick Room, but I'm not playing it at the moment because I wanted to play Shadow Rider Calyrex. Seeing your games, I really want to switch and Sword and Shield for the ladder play, but I'll wait for news of Series 11. Not sure what to do if they decide to go back to allowing Dynamax. Yeah, I think that's the worry for everyone, because I think everyone's been having a lot of fun with this series because with no Dynamax, it's made a lot more Pokemon viable for competitive games. So, I mean, to take an example, back when Sun and Moon was going into its like last set of formats, they had, I think it was GS Cup, so 2 restricted plus anything from the from I guess the national decks, and most of the time you'd see the Weather Trio and maybe Xerneas. I don't think you'd see a lot more, but basically like Groudon and Kyogre, and then the Genies, they'd all be just like really high usage, along with Incineroar as well. So yeah, it was just like not a lot of variety, I think, in the teams. And I think if it goes back to Dynamax and Gigantamax, then it's just going to be more of the same, I think. So you're going to lose a lot of Pokemon that having some benefits of no Dynamax here, and just goes back to, you know, like, a lot less Pokemon to pick from if you want to get like a good competitive team together. That's what I've gleaned from like other people's posts and like comments about it and whatnot. So I'm hoping either no Dynamax still, because it's really good and people have enjoyed that part of Series 10. Or if they do bring Dynamax back, they should try what they've done for one of the earlier series, and that was ban some of the more commonly used Pokemon. So I think in the first year of Sword and Shield, there was one series where they banned, I think it was like 16 Pokemon that were in like a high usage, and that included like, I think it included Arcanine, Whimsicott, some other ones. I think it was before the DLCs became available. And yeah, I think what that was trying to do was just, you know, stop some of these really common Pokemon from, you know, dominating the format. And it could work for Series 11. I don't know which ones they'd choose to ban, because obviously I guess if you ban one Pokemon, that then opens it up for quite a few Pokemon, and you can get more broken strategies as a result. But yeah, what I'd like to see is, I mean, restricteds I don't mind. So you could either have 1 or 2 restricteds. I'm not too bothered about that. But I think the important part is either no Dynamax, or they ban some of the commonly used Pokemon, just to keep the variety in there. Because the variety's been the most enjoyable part of this series, and it's allowed me to come back into it, because I think I had several months where I was playing Battle Stadium and just not getting anywhere, because Dynamax is just such a I mean, to quote others, it's a broken mechanic in the game when you look at it at a competitive aspect. So I honestly think the problem is Dynamax itself. It creates too much of an upheaval that breaks all rules for a few turns. You're screwed if you Dynamax late, and screwed if you don't. Actually, I mean, there are strategies with the Dynamax, because sometimes it pays to have, you know, like a strong Pokemon in the back, and then Dynamax it right near the end of the match, because by that point your opponent's probably used up their Dynamax and they've got nothing to counter it. Because what's it? Dynamax, from like a stats standpoint, it only like doubles your HP, which I think is fine. There's other parts which are not good. What's the worst one? Flying type moves. Max Airstream is toxic. Just to like throw that out there. Yeah, because I was looking at like another video, and it was talking about how was it Scope Lens Togekiss is just broken in the Dynamax format. It's max Airstream. It can do like a base power of over 100. It increases your speed by 1 stage for your whole, like for both of your Pokemon that are on the field, and yeah, and Togekiss with Scope Lens, and was it Scope Lens and Super Luck? It's 50-50 chance, I think, of a critical hit. It's stupid. So if you leave that Togekiss unchecked, you're ruined. Yeah, Max Airstream is BS. There's also the interaction with Protect, right? Or is that Gmax? So Protect and Dynamax and Gigantamax, it works works similar to the Z stones from, or Z crystals from Sun and Moon. So you get hit through protect, but you still like soak up a bit more of the damage. So protect could still work, but you want was it max guard to like fully protect yourself against a max attack or a Gigantamax attack. But yeah, it would be nice to have another format without having to worry about Dynamax. But I feel like a lot of people are thinking it's coming back whether we like it or not. I really hope it doesn't. So yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, no Dynamax. If you do bring it back, please ban some Pokemon. Anyway, it's now midnight. I think we got, yeah, we're on to, I think we're on to Battle 8. Let me just check where we are on the chat. Yeah, this is battle number 8. Okay, so this will be our last match for today. Let's hope we get a win. Here we go. Yeah, basically I'm trying to get markers added to this stream so I can actually help me edit the videos for YouTube later. So just making sure I just put them in, so I don't get to like the Twitch like highlight tool and just see no markers on it and go, oh crap, this is going to take me ages to look through each of my matches. I don't even want to think about what it would be like if I was doing, say, like 5-hour streams and having to pick it apart into like a 30 to 40 minute video. Alright, so your standings now 3928. Here we go. 50-50 win rate, that's always good. And here we go, our last match for today. Okay, so this team we're going up against, we've got a Maractus, a Indeedee, a Groudon, why can't my mind goes blank. It's Porygon 2. I got Stack Attacker, and then we got Arcanine. So, Mienshao is actually fairly good here, I think. Mienshao and then Entei. Entei with Choice Scarf will do a lot of damage against. Or do I want to run a Taunt here? Taunt could be good. Taunt would prevent like a Trick Room, but then if they're going to do Follow Me, that's going to be annoying. Alright, I'd say bring some answers against Trick Room. So Rillaboom there would be good. Calyrex against that lot? Yeah, let's go for it. Alright, here we go. Wish me luck. Wish me all the good vibes that you have in the possession of at the moment. Oh 07 GL mate. Right, here we go. So it's going to be a Follow Me Trick Room lead. Right, so what type is Indeedee? Indeedee is normal psychic, okay. We could double into the Indeedee anyway. I just feel like they're going to be doing Follow Me anyway. Yeah. So why not just like go double into it? There we go, it's gone. Right, and now we've got Trick Room. Alright, so who are they bringing in? Groudon? Yeah. Right, we didn't bring anything that's... Right, so what I think is that their Groudon's not going to be able to like one-shot me. So with that knowledge, I think bring in Rillaboom, and then we'll do Sacred Fire against the Groudon. I just feel like they're not going to get me in one shot. What I should have done was check the stats before going into this match. But I'd already been rambling at a point, so no chance. Right. Right, let's try attack. That's fine. Precipice Blades. Entei avoided it. Whee! Beautiful. Burn, burn. Yeah! Oh, lovely. Alright, so maybe I'm going to be seeing a maybe I'll be seeing a Protect from the Groudon here. That wasn't me. Did someone get a bit angry about their blind Groudon? Well, there we go. That was an anticlimactic final battle. Let's see what their team was anyway. So yeah, Life Orb Raptors. I guess it was Chlorophyll. Yeah, Chlorophyll base 1, 1, 2. I think. Yeah, I think that would have been Rage Quit or Internet. I mean, Nintendo's not known for having stable Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? But it just seems too coincidental for that to be like almost immediately after they missed Precipice Blades on Entei. I just feel like that's a moment where they probably could have missed Entei and just gone, "Oh, this game." Yeah, the internet went down the moment they threw their Switch out the window. See, what I do when I run a Groudon is I give it wide lens, so it doesn't miss Precipice Blades that much. It's just the risk you take when you run a Groudon. That good old Precipice Blades, then good old Groudon drops his contact lenses and then just can't hit for toffee. It's going to make you laugh. So they had White Herb, so obviously they're preventing Intimidate. What's the hit percentage? We can find out. Yeah, 85% accuracy. So it's not good. But I think Wide Lens puts it up above 90, which is better. But yeah, I think everyone's pet peeve with Groudon is that Precipice Blades is such a good move that you don't want to not run it, but there's always that risk of it just not hitting with P-Blades. Now, I mean, 85% times 2 attacks isn't terrible statistics. Yeah, more often than not, you're gonna like hit both of your opposing Pokemon with it, but it's the times where it misses. You always remember those, so it becomes confirmation. I guess you call it. Yeah, I think it's called confirmation bias, isn't it? So you'd remember more often when it misses than when it doesn't, like when it hits. So you just then go, well, Groudon can't hit for toffee. But let me just check the stats on that, because yeah, what I was trying to work out was does Groudon one-hit KO Entei? I don't think he does. Oh no, that's Life Orb. Sorry. Right, so a Life Orb Groudon does do it. Entei, it does get a one-hit KO on Entei. So what the hell was going on with that other? Oh, hold on. I think I see what's going on. What they could have done is they could have had. I think what it is there's a particular set of Groudon that doesn't run max attack investment, and I think that's one that's more common on like the Picolytics usage. Let me just check it. I know that the Groudon that I run doesn't have like full on attack investment. Let's just check. Yeah, so there's an adamant so I think it's really large variety of sets, but there's one that runs 156 attack. Let me check that one. Yeah, so if they were to run a Jolly Groudon with, am I looking at that right? Oh, this is adamant again. Oop. Okay, so adamant with 156 EVs and attack will OHKO it. Alright, that's strange. So yeah, I've got no idea what would what that other Groudon would have been running stat wise on the last game. The one that just barely missed a KO on Entei. But I mean, there is a chance if they're I guess if they're running like a bulky Groudon, then there is a chance that they're not gonna OHKO Entei. I think Groudon does have a chance of it, but there's certain spreads that it becomes like a 85% chance of OHKOing. So yeah, this person would have one-shotted my Entei if Precipice plays connected, so it justifies their rage quit in a way. So they missed it, and I guess that was the final straw for them. Because they were like that should have hit, and that should have KO'd Entei. Entei is still there. What's going on? So yeah, they got unlucky and they got angry. But that means points for us, which we'll check when we next play some games. So that's going to be it for today for me. So in terms of what I'm doing next week, I think at the moment I'll say I'll be doing Pokemon, but well, such is life when stuff going on YouTube. Yeah, I've got the I think where I'm at with YouTube videos is the Thursday's video from last week. That still needs to get uploaded. I have got that. I just need to export it over from Twitch again because I think the export failed. Once I can get that over, then I can edit it and then just make it public. I do have a backlog of videos which I need to get around to, and I may not be able to get around to this week's ones until Sunday. But yeah, I hate getting backlogs of videos that I need to edit, so I will get it done. just watch this space. So yeah, so we're currently at episode 17, I think, on YouTube. Let me just double check. Let's have a look. Yeah, so yeah, 17 episodes uploaded. We're currently now on episode 20. So we've got one video that has been edited, needs exporting, and then we've got these two from this week that need both editing and exporting. We'll get that done. Watch this space. So yeah, now I'm just gonna head off now. I'll see if anyone's around for a raid. Because I think usually there's like a couple of people that are playing VGC when I finish. So we'll check see if any of those are around. If not, then we'll just finish here and there. So yeah, so outro time. So yeah, that was the stream. We didn't really get that far in ladder, but we had some fun. We learned a couple of lessons, some important lessons, and maybe got some good feedback on the team there through those battles that we had. That is the stream today. I will be next on the Tuesday next week. I'm saying it's going to be Pokemon at the moment. It could be Metroid Dread depending on like how that game plays, or I may just just play that off stream at my own leisure. But for now, we are finishing up. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I do streams Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 o'clock in the evening UK time. If you want to get notified as soon as I'm online, then please follow the channel, and then also I will share the YouTube link. So if you do like the content from this stream, then please check out my YouTube channel and you'll be able to see more of my content there. If you are watching one of those videos right now, then please like the video and please feel free to subscribe to my channel as well. That's the plugs done. Alright, so yeah, I've been Dobron, I guess. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time. Right, that's done. Okay.